New at 10 o'clock, Keokuk City of Christmas set to open for the holidays tomorrow night. It originally started in 1989, and since then the City of Christmas has been bringing holiday joy for years to the community and its surrounding areas. Light displays from several businesses, sponsors, and organizations throughout the area populate the city. Tonight they saw a walkthrough the city as volunteers were eager to open up for the holidays.
People don't know the stories behind the calls we get. People want to sponsor something in the name of their family, and the stories we get about their family is just priceless. We learn about, uncle this or aunt this or grandma this, and it's not just businesses who display or sponsor displays, it's families.
And I loved how they were dressed for the occasion. The City of Christmas is set to open nightly November 28th through the 1st of the new year.